The real situation wouldn't be the bike. Let's talk about the house. So someone comes into your house, you don't assume they're looking for my laptop and they're going to take it and then make sure that they don't even mess up any wires or anything. And then they'll leave peace. Like, you have to assume they're coming there with ill intent, and you would rather not have a gun than have a gun because of some blue or red tape or some, like, you might get involved in he didn't retreat enough, but that's certainly better than being dead. Right?
Yeah. If you put it between those, but I don't think that really represents the full range of outcomes or the full range of situations that arise. Like, you're absolutely right. And I agree with you 100%. If you say, if the person is coming into my house with the intent to harm me and is armed in some way that, like with a gun, for example, then if that is the scenario, I absolutely want a gun in that scenario. No questions asked. Absolutely.
There is only one way to be prepared for the full range of potential outcomes, and that is the gun.
Yeah.
But the gun also removes a number of outcomes. There's no outcome where I can hurt someone with, or very few outcomes where I can hurt someone with the gun without killing them with the gun, or without seriously.
You'd be surprised. You aim low with a pistol, they'll be all right.
You don't want to aim low, though.
And I also don't want a pistol. I really preferred the rifle. It just seemed like much more newbie friendly.
It's a real man killer.
You don't want to defend your home with a rifle in your home. You definitely. Yeah. You're talking about punching through walls.
Plus, what you really want to do is you want to do that thing where you both draw. You want to get.
I want to shoot him when he doesn't see me. If he's.
That's the coward's way out. No, you do like a high noon kind of like, all right, count it down, and you both draw, because that's a. See, that scenario I described is literally as likely as this like docile, polite intruder who's like, please, sir, can I have some more? Only broke in because of my poor upbringing. Like, that's not going to happen.
No, certainly not. And
I don't know. I'm super pro gun, and because I am so pro gun, and I'm like exposed to so much self-affirming sort of media. Like I'm constantly reading these articles about like people breaking into people's houses and their homes being saved. Like guys, like the woman's in the house barricaded in, and the guy is just literally tearing through door after door to he wants to rape her so bad that he's broken through the front door and he's all cut up with glass. And she's like, leave, I called police already. And he's like, they won't get here in time. And he's just like tearing through the second interior door with like his bare hands. And she's just like in a closet now with the gun, and he's just still coming. Like he's just really is in the mood for a raping, he's all about it.
It's way more likely than someone showing up at 1 a.m. to borrow sugar and you accidentally.
That guy's going to get it too, though.
The range of things that actually happen, like the range of things that happen at my house is, there's people moving around on the outside of my house at night. Sometimes, sometimes there's some fucking people making noise in the street or something, right? Like, how many times have you gone out and had a confrontation with someone?
I'll take that. Right? And 0. I have had a couple of times where I was glad to have the gun. One time when we first moved here, so I felt a little less secure in a new home. And there were voices coming from the stable. So I went to check it out, and I was glad I had a shotgun. It turns out it just carried a little farther than I expected. They weren't in the stable.
He's on to us.
I was one time, I was driving. I was going a long drive to see Jackie's parents, and I brought the gun with me. We went into like a shady Quickie Mart gas station type situation. Mm-hmm. And I didn't need the gun. I never left my pocket, but I was so glad I had it because I felt like I was being, I don't know, like I was getting the stink eye. Maybe someone gave me the shoulder or something. And I was just like, I don't feel safe here. I was a fish out of water. I'll say it, I was the only white guy there. And I felt like I was being targeted or pre-targeted. And it just felt good to have a gun in my pocket, although it never left it. So there are a couple times when I was glad I had it, but I've never pointed at anybody, let alone shot it.
Yeah, no, and when I say, how many times have you had a situation, I don't mean like how many times you pulled the gun out for this. I mean, how many times in your life have you encountered some sort of hostile physical encounter with someone? I'm thinking like in college, I got fucking punched in the head a couple of times, or I had my jaw broken in high school from being sucker punched. I'm just thinking about these things like, do I want the tool to escalate this to a life or death situation on me for these types of things? These things happen, and they happen in my life.
I think that
he goes, I don't really want to fucking kill people because I had a gun for this, and this shit's going to escalate because I have that. I don't know. Man.
I think it's more of being prepared for them arriving with a gun. You know, like you have to assume they will show up fully escalated, and your duty is to be able to respond to that in kind. And so it's not that, you know, you're wanting to amp it up. It's that you need to be prepared for what you gotta assume they're gonna have.
One of the changes, like, I feel like Filthy would rather lose a little when he's entitled to win, right? And maybe I'm stupid for this, but I think he's like, man, this guy, he hit me in the eye, broke my orbital bone, but in the long term, I'm okay, and I'm glad there was no gunshots fired. I'm kind of like, well, fuck that guy. I was just in my living room. He deserves a killing. Why should I lose? You know?
Exactly. What's he doing in your house?
Because as I started with in this, right, like, I think a part of me would find that too easy in that situation to shoot him.
You need a sword then. I get it now. I was confused. I thought you were insane. You just want a challenge. All right, my friend, the katana is got your name written all over, and you can actually get it engraved, so it literally can have your name all over. Oh, a tactical flail. That's what you need.
Dude, by the Witch
Come
King.
at me, intruder.
Can you imagine
Sigma prevails.
You come in to rob from a house, and Filthy's there, and a full Witch King get up, lifting that.
He's like, kunk, like flipping the fucking face.
It's a lot heavier than I thought.
Taylor, I imagine if I have the bat and the fucking gun in my house, and I'm going for the bat first, right? I'm gonna go for the gun first. If someone's fucking invading my home, I wake up in the night, there's some noise downstairs, and I've got a gun and a bat in the house. I'm gonna pick up the gun.
Yeah,
I said Taylor. I meant to say Filthy. Did I nail it? Would you rather lose a little than have somebody else lose a lot? Huh?
I guess it depends what you mean by a little and a lot here. I mean, that's going to fluctuate. But like, all right, yeah, if there's some like he fucking steals my stereo or something, am I going to be pretty pissed? Yeah. Am I glad I didn't shoot him for that and kill him? Probably.
I might line up with you there. But even the slightest amount of bodily harm or even scare, you know, like, I don't know. I'll tell you what. Like, if you're in my house, my castle, I feel like you're not allowed to fuck with me even a little, right? You can't even come in, you know, without an invitation.
And that's part of what I'm saying. Again, I think I would shoot him in my house if they had my fucking stereo in that moment kind of deal. And I don't know that I want that. I don't know that in that moment I want that power to do that.
Have you been robbed?
No. Well, not in my home.
That happened to me as a teenager, and I've heard other people talk about like the sense of safety that they've lost from it. It was a big deal for me. I don't know, maybe adult me handles it a little differently, but teenage me had night terrors for a decade, literally, right? From like 17 to nearly 30. I slept with a knife under my bed for a long time. I didn't feel safe without it. Like that sense of invasion that when I heard about on a TV show, it was like, really? The fuck is wrong with you? Your lock's on now. You know, you're fine. But when it happened to me, my response was uncontrollable. I should have got therapy.
It's violating.
As soon as I'm illegally allowed to, I'm getting myself a tactical crossbow.
Okay.
If I was going to be some kind of a criminal in the modern world, like in a city, there's so many cameras everywhere. Like, I was like, there's no way to steal anything or touch anything anymore without someone seeing you do it. Like, you'd have to send a drone in to do your dirty work.
That's the problem with modern, too many cameras.
You could send a drone in to fuck up the cameras and then go in.
Not in our world. No, so you know how it would work though. Like they would just go to, all right, the camera's broken here, expand out into a bubble of cameras that he didn't destroy, and let's look at every person who walked out. All right, we saw 450 people, and then they start drawing those little bubbles around them until they got 12 white males with hoodies on, and it's game over because only one of you had a criminal record, and they're coming to get you. They get you now.
What an awfully specific description that was.
It was an inoffensive.
It was an inoffensive description.
Yeah, it was an inoffensive description. Let me ask you this: you ever see those daytime TV is awful, and they've always got those things to scare old people, those commercials, and so you get a lot of erectile dysfunction, a lot of adult diapers, but you also get home security systems. Yeah, and they show ADT, that would be ruffian, that street tough who's going to be like caught breaking into a residence. It's always white guy with ski mask. It's white guy with ski mask every time. I've never seen white guy with ski mask in real life. I I don't think he exists, but
I
he's the
love-
one who breaks into your house if you have a security system.
I love how White Guy with Ski Mask 2 walks right up to the window in the middle of the day
Yeah.
with a crowbar.
Like, and it's always
Yeah, in the middle of the day. Like, yeah,
he's gonna
that's
break
how-
in with this mother and 2 children, like who are putting Legos together in there, like. And we say that, but every day I see a video on Reddit of some crazy person and that like trying to break into a residence and getting gunned down. Did you see the one where the ex-boyfriend is trying to break into the girlfriend's house and the father's home? And he's like, get the fuck back. And we've got Ring doorbell footage, so it's right in the asshole's face. And he's just he starts with knocking, gets to pounding, gets to shoving and kicking, and now he's breaking the door in. And the father's warning, and then it's boom, 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 boom. And he's very dead.
If anybody has that link, put it in our shared chat. I'm interested.
Did you see the one? That was a couple months ago. Of that dude, obviously insane, with a knife, knocking on the door, telling the woman he knows she's alone. I know you're alone.
What the fuck?
And so calm. You remember how calm he was, Kyle?
There's a subreddit that's nothing but these disturbing Ring
it's
doorbell
insane.
cams.
Insane. Some of the stuff on Ring.
Yeah.
But that guy really scared the fuck out of me. One, for how calm he was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2, basically saying, he said something like, I know you're home. I just want to come in and stab you. He said something that calm.
Yeah.
It was fucking crazy.
Was it a random guy, or was there a history with them, or just some dude who showed up wanting to stab?
He walked away. I'm not sure. I don't think they had caught him by the time the video came out, but apparently it was just random. And it was the husband. The wife was inside, and the husband was talking to him on the Ring, like, "Get the fuck away from here!" And the guy was like, "Look, I know you're in there. I just want to come in and stab you."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There are some actual crazy people out there.
They didn't catch that guy. They got to catch that guy.
I know.
That's not a situation where you go,
What city? What city?
You need to find the guy who's going around being like, what's your interest here? Oh, I'm here to stab you.
Oh, and
after I stab you, I'll probably grab a bite, maybe see a movie, but I'm going to stab you.
Have you all ever had your house broken into? I'm so curious. Have you, as an adult? Have you?
I was a teenager.
I never have.
I was like 17.
And were you guys home? It was your parents' house? What was the deal?
So my audience heard us a lot, but we got broken into almost every week. Like every weekend, the guy would come and take money from my mother's purse.
Same guy?
Yeah. At first, I thought it was my brother, and my brother thought it was me. Like that's just kind of where our heads went.
Yeah.
And we met privately, and we're like, dude, like the fuck? And I'm like, it's not me. He's like, yeah, it's not me either. And we kind of believed each other.
Mm-hmm.
And just they hit up my mother's purse. She would hit the ATM machine sort of on a regular basis to get her weekly money, and he would just take it. And so she used to hang her purse from a chair on the kitchen table. And then she started hiding it a little bit better, like, all right, we can't keep it there anymore. And before long, it's in like a kitchen cabinet. He's still finding it. It's in a kitchen drawer.
Wow.
And he, I guess, was just sort of ransacking the place and finding it.
But when did you guys not change your locks?
It was really late at night. And no, we didn't change the locks. I used to sleep on the couch as a teenager too often. Don't judge me. And one time, my wallet was like 18 inches from me. And I woke up in the morning and it was emptied and tossed on one of the other couches. Yeah. So this guy was like reaching over my body practically.
That's so awful.
Opening my Velcro surfer wallet. Taking
How did you ever fall asleep on that couch ever again, dude? Are you kidding me?
I had night terrors for like.
Did they ever find him?
So what happened was one night, it was like 3 or 4 a.m. It was really late and I was awake, and I heard this creeping on the stairs. We had a basement with a door that led outside, and the stairs that led into the house were creaky, and it would just like creak, creak, creak. And like at first I was like, did I hear that? And I guess I tried to convince myself that I didn't. I tried to convince myself it wasn't happening, but sure enough, like it just kept happening. There's a full set of stairs, 13 stairs. And I go over to the door, and I see he's a grown man. I see his fingers wrapped around the door. I think he was pulling it closed again. Maybe he knew I was coming. I don't know. And I shut the door with his fingers, and I opened it real quick, and I start screaming at him. Just
how old were you?
17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how big were you when you were 17?
I was a really skinny 6-footer, something like that.
And I'm impressed that the first thing you did wasn't to call for your mom and dad.
No, they were asleep. And but my father did hear me yelling at him. When I opened the door and saw him, he was little. He was like 5'2". He was even skinnier than maybe I was, and I was really skinny.
White guy ski mask.
He was a light-skinned black guy with a Harlem Globetrotters hat on.
No ski shoes.
Was it Curly Neal? Is that the surprise of this?
I thought he had on like a blue golfer's hat.
He starts spinning your wallet on his finger.
When I'm yelling,
he threw some confetti on you and ran away.
I'm less than 2 feet from him when I'm yelling at him. And he was stunned. He was just stunned when I started yelling at him. And then he fell backwards down the stairs. Like he didn't like turn around and run or anything. Just in shock, falls backwards. Cool. And I gave chase, right? I chased him into the basement. Then I was like, maybe I don't want to catch him. Maybe this is fine. And the police came and they had like canine dogs and all that sort of stuff. And I described like what he was wearing and the hat, and I got it wrong. The hat turned out to be left on the stairs from the fall. And it was a little eye-opening to me. Later on, they came and they thought they knew who he was. And I couldn't pick him out of a lineup. Like I didn't know. And I tried to cheat. I asked like the detective's right there. And he has a printout of mugshots for me to look at. And there's like 8 of them or something. Mm-hmm. So I'm putting my finger on him, doing like one of these deals. Hmm?
Yeah, what do you think?
Maybe number 5.
Yes, yeah, you get it. But
if you were me, who would you pick?
Yeah.
This one looks like a troublemaker, huh?
Yeah. I was like, do you know who it is? And he's like, I think so. And I'm just like, but he didn't give me any hint. And in the end, I was just like,
you found the one clean cop on the force. Any other cop would have been like, was it this one? Yeah, that was
try that guy.
He'd be like, hey, it's probably both of these guys though, right? No, I only saw one guy. Yeah, but this one was probably the lookout outside, right?
He was the getaway, right?
Probably. They don't even know each other.
He gives you 8 photos. 7 of them are East Asian men. Like,
right.
Like, I think you're trying to guide me.
But I did read in the
bunch
paper
of photos.
later.
One guy is circled in red.
Yeah,
I don't take your pick.
Yeah, I think they caught him. I read a guy in the paper who was convicted on like 29 counts of burglary, and he was that skinny because he was a drug addict and he was stealing money to buy drugs.
You don't say. That is
It's true. It's true.
So sneaky though.
That is his small stature probably helped him to be a very effective burglar.
Crazy high stealth skill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you, and the balls to keep going back to the same place.
Yeah.
It turned out, so the way that our basement door was, the locking mechanism was almost like an interior one, like that little barrel lock you'd slide across. Mm-hmm. So if you wanted to lock it, you would have to like exit that door, go in through the front of the house, around there, down the stairs, lock it from the inside, and then repeat that process. So my brother, I guess he had tools or a moped or something like that downstairs and just never did it. So the downstairs basement door was always unlocked. Man. Even when we were like carefully checking all the other doors, that's how he was getting in.
You are one of the few kids ever who actually had the opportunity to home alone somebody.
Yeah.
We tried. I had
a can of paint?
Maybe 4 friends over. And we did a stakeout. We did a stakeout. Our plan was to duct tape him to a chair and shave his head and shit like that.
Oh shit! There was a kidnapping. There was a kidnapping plot.
That was our dumbass teenage plan.
Let me ask you.
You were gonna 9 to 5 him.
I want to picture you. I want to be done for it. Your friend group. It was probably pretty diverse, though. It wasn't 4 white guys going to jump a black guy, tie him up, and shave his head or anything, though, right?
Kyle, it would have been a corrective kidnapping.
Can you imagine the newspaper clipping after this?
Oh my god!
We were not able. Like we were quiet for probably 5 minutes, and then it turned into a slumber party, and he just didn't come that night.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine who got put under house arrest, when we were in high school. And this guy, he got put under house arrest. He stole a motorcycle and led some cops some wild goose chase, caused a couple of the cruisers to crash.
Wow.
This is when we were a senior in high school, right? This dude ended up being a sniper in the Marines. But so he gets house arrest. So me and my other friend, we want to go see him. And we're in Massachusetts, and it was winter. It was time of year where like 5:30 is dark. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we walk up to his house, and it's pretty dark except for one muted light upstairs. But the front door is open, and I'm about to walk in, and my buddy goes, "No, don't walk in." So from outside, before we walk up the steps, he goes, "Greg, it's us." And the light turns on. He was just waiting for someone to break in. He was sitting in there with a gun. He was just waiting for someone to break in.
It was a bait house. He left the door open.
As a senior in high school, he was like, I was like, "What are you doing, dude?" He was like, "I'm bored. I'm under house arrest." I'm like, "So you thought you'd set up a trap to shoot somebody?" And he was like, "What else am I going to do?" I'm like, "I don't know. Watch TV." I don't know.
Right?
Well, I'm doing that at the same time.
Whatever the rest of us do. Yeah. He, that dude was special. That chase, we lived in a small town, but that chase.
What was he on? Is he in a car? They chased him?
He was in a motorcycle.
A motorcycle.
He was in a motorcycle.
They're hard to catch.
When I took my concealed carry course, they said, they kept using a toaster. They said, you catch a guy red-handed in your house carrying a toaster, that was a no-shoot situation. And it's like, really? He's in my house. Should I be able to shoot? And they're like, no.
What if you're in the bath and he's running at you?
You shoot when you fear for like serious harm, rape, or death. Like those are the three things, and some of them seem a little redundant. But serious harm, rape, or death, sexual assault or death, and you're allowed to shoot. Now there's the castle doctrine. I think if you catch a guy with a toaster in your house, you can fire away.
No,
right?
Only if he tries to hit you with a toaster.
Yeah. No. Didn't the castle doctrine just make it so you can fire if they're in your house?
No, they have to be a threat, I think, right?
Like if he was before, like what's the improvement?
Well, I think that it extends.
You don't have it. That's what it is. You don't have the ability to retreat.
No, that's stand your ground. What castle doctrine is I think, is that it's extending that the boundaries of your home to like your property line, the fence out there. If he jumps over and climbs over your fence into your property, he's in here now, and he's subject to the same kind of repercussions as if he just climbed through your bedroom window. That's how I interpret castle doctrine.
Huh. Yeah, this is something we should probably know.
But stand your ground the way I interpret stand your ground is a different thing. Whereas he's confronting you. I have my gun. He's coming at me repeatedly. I don't have to run. It's not up to me to run. I'm here, and I don't have to do anything other than stand my ground and protect myself if need be. And if that means deadly force, it just does. I don't have any. I can't think of the word, but I don't have any need to run. I'm not required to.
I think Kyle's right. I just read the opening paragraph on the Wikipedia, and it does seem that way. What I don't know is how it's different than what we had before. Because what we had before, this is North Carolina. It's the one I know well. If someone was pounding on your door trying to get in, you could shoot them through the door. That was cool. If somebody was already in, you had to prove, like I said before, intent to like seriously harm, rape, or kill you. It seems like with the castle doctrine, it's roughly the same thing. And
yeah, I think that
there was no duty to retreat in North Carolina before in your house, like in your car. If you're at a gas station and bad guys like going to seriously harm you, but you could have easily retreated instead of shot him, then you had to do that. And I think that's still the case.
I also think the castle doctrine applies to vehicles.
It does. It depends on your state. Here's the list of all of the states with castle doctrine. I believe all the states we live in are on there. North Carolina, Georgia,
about the castle doctrine?
Missouri. He does now.
He's
that
the
he's
only
on the Wikipedia
attorney I know.
page. But man, the Missouri one, I'm reading through it. This is lenient as fuck. It extends to any building, inhabitable structure, or conveyance of any kind, whether the building, inhabitable structure, or conveyance is temporary or permanent, mobile or immobile, as long as it has a roof over it, including a tent.
That's absolutely. So now think about this. What that's saying is that Castle Doctrine applies even if, here's a scenario, your kids are camping out in the backyard and some maniac breaks into the tent. Oh, now I kill you. They're breaking into your tent. Or if you had a mobile home or a camper, a lot of people I know will have like a mobile home or a camper they park on their property while they construct a new home. And home construction sites are often targets for thieves. So, and that's why people like to sleep there and live there on their construction sites. People will come steal tools and building materials. So that's a thing that happens a lot. So it's good that it extends to stuff like that.
That was Missouri's. North Carolina's, their first line is, a person is justified in using force except deadly force against another when and to the extent that the person reasonably believes that the conduct is necessary to defend himself or herself or another against the other's imminent use of unlawful force.
Except deadly force. That's my favorite kind of force. That's the whole reason we're talking about it. I'm allowed to hit them with my gun? The butt of it?
Says there's no duty to retreat. Yeah, I guess you have to really think that that you're under real threat of death before you can use deadly force, and even then they're gonna analyze it.
Common sense really helps a lot. Like my goal would always be to capture the guy, right? Because I feel like that's a better headline, it's a better story afterwards, and I'm gonna feel better afterwards. I don't want to fucking shoot somebody. I'd rather capture this guy. I think about paintball or a video game. It's always a cooler, better kill, or for a montage or whatever, if you're like sneak up behind the guy and like get him with a syringe, like in a Battlefield or something like that. Yeah, like do that to him, like capture him. I feel like you've done a better thing, and that way you're not gonna get in trouble.
Now, anytime I walk downtown St. Louis, I'm gonna wear a tent over me and then walk around it like a midget in a traffic cone, and then like every 10 feet I can put it down and then peer around. And then get it back up and go. And then if anybody ever threatens me, I'll just yell loudly like, "That's my tent! Bang, 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 bang. It's got a roof! I can defend it! This is my castle."
We were talking before the show about beating up bad guys and women making sandwiches. Do you want to resume that topic?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Were we?
You weren't here.
You weren't here?
Oh. I wasn't paying attention then.
No, he wasn't. He had stepped away to pee. It was like before the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what's the deal? What are we talking about?
I guess Kyle saw a YouTube short. Do you want to set it up, Kyle, instead of me?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw one of those YouTube shorts, and there was an argument between a guy and a girl, and he said, making the sandwiches is one of your jobs. It's your job. I don't make sandwiches. And she's like, really? You think that one of my duties, one of my responsibilities is to make you sandwiches? And he said, if someone's breaking into the house in the middle of the night, whose duty is it to go down there and fight that man hand to hand? I'm going to need some sustenance if I'm going to win.
She's got to fuel him up for battle.
And I thought
sometimes
that
you
was
need
pretty
hard salami.
I thought that was pretty funny.
I've watched
in my own personal life, I don't feel the need to separate the sandwich making specifically into gender roles.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want some dumb woman making a bad sandwich for me, if I'm being honest. It's just
you'd rather make your own sandwich just the way you like it.
I make amazing sandwiches. I don't want to go into a whole thing about
sandwich
sandwiches
maker until she makes it the way I like it, and then the bruises heal up and nobody's the wiser.
See, we didn't have to slide into that scary place.
I'm fine with you going into a whole thing about sandwiches if you want.
Oil and vinegar, man. That's the secret.
Good.
That's how Subway and all those sandwich shops and salt and pepper. I had never put salt and pepper on a goddamn sandwich in my life. But I know
not even on your tomato sandwiches with tomatoes on there.
Well, I've told you how I treat my tomatoes. I cut them just so with my Japanese knife, and then I place them on paper towels and sprinkle them with salt, and then sandwich them between another paper towel.
On a tomato.
And then I repeat that process again for the other side, thereby drawing all of the liquid out with the salt. And so that way you don't get some sloppy ass drippy tomato type situation. And now the tomatoes are salted, which you're going to want.
Of course. Yeah. You got your head on straight with sandwiches. I bet you make.
You goddamn right.
What were we talking about before sandwich? No, this wasn't
talking about gender roles. It wasn't about sandwich construction at all.
Well, it wasn't literally about sandwich constructions, but making sandwiches was a part of it. It was, hey, is it a woman's job to make a sandwich as much as it is a man's job necessarily to go down and fight the intruder if that's breaking in through the window?
It should both jobs should be by who's better at it. Whoever's better at making sandwiches makes the sandwiches. Whoever's better at fighting the criminals.
So you're saying the man has to do everything all the time.
If he is the better
you are setting yourself up for a
That's the
rough
problem, Taylor. You're gonna get fucking Ray Romano'd on.
Who washes the clothes?
They're just gonna play incompetent.
He's like, so it turns out.
I don't know.
I do everything now.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm not good at sandwiches or laundry or.
I'm getting made fun of by my wife who's too hot for me again. Like, my brother who must have had a different father because he's 7'1".
The thing, so I have a thing about this. So, one time my wife said that I wasn't helping around the house enough, and I was like, "That's not true."
One
you just
time,
don't appreciate, right? Straighten her out. You just don't appreciate the things I do. And while that's true, the next example I brought up was stupid as fuck. I was like, how do you think the golf cart stays filled with gas? Like, do you think that happens on its own? No, I'm out there maintaining all these things and you're not even watching. Guys, that takes 30 seconds every 6 months. That is like a nothing job.
And what happens if it doesn't get done?
Well, I guess.
How many things are there that
can over to it?
See, a man's life is a series of things that take 30 seconds that he has to do every 6 months. But they just roll over every day, so there's more of them. You're always checking a light bulb and fucking twisting a knob and greasing a fucking hinge. And if you're not there every day, twisting the light bulb and wiggling the wire. Oh, is that starting to fray? Better get ahead of that. Oh, is that eroding there? But where the water spigot fills out, better save the foundation. Oh, is that a water leak? Like, you're the guy doing all of those things. The house falls in without you.
I wish that I had made that argument. When I went on the Transamerica Trail, that long vacation from like 2 years ago, I came back, the pool fucking leaked. It had turned green. The tractor, which was, I guess someone else mowed, hydraulic fucking fluid all over the stable, dripping, not working. Like there was a big hole in the yard from when the tractor tire dug itself 3 feet deep because dumb fucks don't know you don't operate a tractor in the mud. Who doesn't know that?
Yeah.
And like I could go on and on and on. The whole place fucking collapsed because I wasn't here twisting the hinges, applying the oil, etc. But that example on its own wasn't a good one. And I also think that when guys bring up how they battle intruders, so the least you can do is show your appreciation for all this. I'm almost 50. When I was a teenager, maybe you could argue I battled an intruder once, but basically I don't do it. It doesn't happen. This is a make-believe problem.
It's a hypothetical problem. It ain't make-believe. It happens every second of every fucking day. A man has to protect a woman. It's how that goes. You're almost never, you're not going to, dude, if you're getting beat down in public, a man is going to step in to help you. You know, if you saw someone getting the shit kicked out of them and it's some one-on-one situation, you're like, he's going to kill him. Like, we're going to stop that guy. If the three of us are coming along and someone's being murdered, we will stop it. That will not happen if 3 ladies come along. They'll probably record the shit. All right. Yeah. Like it's if you're in trouble, you want a dude to come get you out of it. Cause man, I always, maybe it's sexist to say, it is sexist. And I mean it with the firefighters. Jesus, if I'm in this place and a beam is on me and the smoke is, I can't take it much longer. If I hear a lady's voice downstairs, I'm just going to take a deep breath. Just get it over with. Because if I can't get this shit off me,
there's no chance she can.
I throw 250 up like nothing. If I can't get this off me, how's she going? Oh, maybe she can deadlift the shit. Actually, get up here, honey.
No, but you can't deadlift your mangled and broken body under a beam like out of there. You need a big, strong, handsome, strapping guy.
Fucking sweaty. I want Stipe Miocic to fucking kick that door down, and I want him to take me in his big, powerful hands. But he'd be so gentle. You know he would. The way he
technically he only needs to be strong, but I want him to be chiseled too.
It's Stipe Miocic. He's been cutting weight for a fight.
Let's be fair here.
He's been bulking up. He's got a cut for 265 now.
Kyle, that's a lie. If you're pinned under the beam, it's not just because I'm establishing it's not just a woman thing for you. Yeah. If you would be happier to see Stipe Miocic shirtless, glistening, come through than a big fat, 5'5" man schlub who's kind of rolling out of his outfit. You just want the strongest man.
They're definitely,
but it has to be a man because there just aren't enough I'll
say this: I would prefer that it be a man though. Like if someone's gonna like tear through a burning fucking wall to save me, it's gonna be a dude that does it. He's gonna come out all scarred up and be like, "Yeah, but I saved him." Like I just don't feel that. I just don't trust a woman to get all fucked up saving my life in emergency situations. I think, and I think hiring represents that. We talk about this hypothetical, and I think I'm being an asshole right now. I feel like because I'm talking about a hypothetical that doesn't fucking exist. I think so because I'm making this straw man argument right now. I just realized. When's the last time they sent some dainty bitch up a flight of stairs to save somebody and everybody burn alive? I'd have heard about that. So I guess that's
you probably wouldn't.
It's the gender roles that we were on to begin with, and it's whether it's someone's duty to make the sandwiches. And I think in some relationships that it probably should be somebody's duty to make the goddamn sandwiches and somebody else's duty to do another thing. But the way I've always preferred to do things is there's a lot of shit that I want to do myself. Like I want to cook my own meals most of the time. I'm not looking to find some lady to do those things for me. Washing clothes would be nice though. Clothes and dishes. Those are the things I don't do. And floors and windows. Really cleaning in general.
You don't like, I don't mind cleaning the kitchen at all. I hate when there's dishes in the sink.
Whoever cooks doesn't clean.
That's fair.
That's how I see things.
Yeah, I hate that division of labor.
Yeah,
because I want whoever cooks to consider the cleaning task, right? I don't want you just using like 17 bowls to mix something that you didn't have to.
It's your wife. It's not Hitler. I will use every mixing. Oh, I think the little spatula for this.
You could have used one spatula all night.
How many looking you in the eyes? Rinse them off.
I've always felt like you need to incentivize the chef to make less of a mess.
Yeah, and look, that's how I've traditionally done things because
that's being courteous. Yeah,
I'll often cook like a big Thanksgiving meal, and I know my mom would be in there like, let me help, and I'm like, yeah. Go right ahead. Like I feel that's fair. Like fucking clean up in there. My back hurts.
Yeah. Why would they tell you not to?
I don't know. It probably damages the handle to some extent. But if the handle ever goes bad, I'll just have somebody put a cool custom handle on it.
I just made this up. I could be wrong, but I think that it has to do with banging around. Like you don't want that knife to be against the forks and butter knives and stuff hitting the blade.
I put it in this special little plastic like cage thing my dishwasher has. It doesn't get dulled or do anything. Okay. No, don't fuck with ceramic knives. Like.
I don't have any. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's one of those buy nice or buy twice things with like most cookware. Like I was thinking about like if it's pots and pans, I get cast iron for everything because stainless steel is too expensive. Copper is a gimmick, and non-stick is not only going to make your children's penis small. Look it up, but they scratch up and get ruined.
That's a trap. I'm not fact checking it.
Kyle's right. Cast iron is the way to go.
It is, yeah.
More because of the flavor.
If you ever need to defend yourself in a home invasion scenario, and the government has taken away every one of your weapons, a cast iron pan may be what it comes down to.
Have you ever like I have a cast iron pan, obviously, just like a boilerplate regular one, and I've thought before, like when I'm picking it up to use it or something, I'll like kind of flip it up this way. And just kind of feel it a little bit for the weight, imagining I'm like a disgruntled, Looney Tunes mom about to hit her husband. And it's like, that is an unwieldy thing. That would be really hard to swing and hit somebody.
Whenever I look at weapons and I judge them for their effectiveness, I think, what would happen if I was holding one side and like maybe one of you guys was holding the other side? If I have a baseball bat, I think I have a slight advantage because I've got the holdy part with the knob on the end.
For sure.
But it's kind of close. If it's a cast iron pan, I feel like the enemy has the advantage. He's got the round part and you've got the handle. Educate me. It sounds like you got a thing.
Well, I've got these gloves that protect me up to 1,100 degrees Fahrenheit. So what I do
You're
is I heat that pan up till it's scorching hot.
Hold on, Home Invader. I got a plan.
All right?
You're not going to like it.
And then I grab that fucker and I give him a little weak swing. I dare him to grab it. Now he's all burnt up.
It's just red hot. Give me 20 minutes. In there with an acetylene torch on the top, trying to hurry it up.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of like golf club as an example. I feel like if I had the handle part of the golf club and Taylor had the business end of the golf club, I think he'd disarm me. right?
That was a little different. Yeah,
I feel like if you stepped in close and like blocked a golf club the way they block stuff in movies, you know, one of these, it'll break right across your arm. If they hit you with the head of the club, it's going to break your fucking arm. But if you were able to step in close maybe and block it, like I said, like the movie guys do, I think it'll break right on your arm.
Oh, that might even be worse. He comes in, you throw up might fold and break on your arm, and the business end still smacks you right in the noggin. You know,
still hit you, but the energy would be dissipated. That's why I put that whole who can win it is why I put a bayonet on all of my guns, even the pistols.
Mm-hmm. I keep bayonets in every room of the house.
Nunchucks.
Girlfriend thinks that weird and strange. We'll see who's laughing. You know, when the Gauls show up, and I have to batter them back.
Did we talk about Anthony Smith's home invasion?
No, we never did.
Oh my!
That guy was like a D1 wrestler, right? That invaded his home.
Yes, yeah, University of Nebraska. He wasn't a current D1 wrestler, but I imagine him in his 20s, right? Like he's just.
I mean, if you were, you still are, as far as I'm concerned. None of us were.
It's like riding a bike. He still knows how to fuck you up.
Dude, I rolled with the D1 wrestlers because there's a couple D1 colleges where I trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's like, oh yeah, you're something different, aren't you? Yeah, every roll starts with them putting me on my back. Like I know what's coming, you know what's coming, and I'm thankful he's not gay because there's not a goddamn thing I could do about it.
So this guy home invaded fucking Anthony Smith, who's a legit martial artist in the UFC, high-ranked guy.
He did pretty well against John Jones in his 205-pound title fight. He lost, but I think he went the distance, and you know, so this guy is one of the top 5 baddest guys on earth ish, something like that, top 10, and the home invader really gave him a go, and he tells the story super well, not Cerrone scuba diving well, but really well, and he gave that guy a lot of credit for being tough. He was having a hard time holding him down. At one point, his wife got him a knife. This is the fighter, and I guess my takeaway was you don't want a knife unless you intend to use the knife. Otherwise, now you're a one-handed guy. You know, because once he was subduing him, he was holding him down, he was giving him the business, hitting him, etc., but struggling with the guy. And his wife gets him a knife, and now he's having a much harder time holding him down because he has a hand that's effectively out of the fight. He at one point, his wife went to help, right? And he's like, my wife has a lot of good qualities, but let's leave the fighting to me, right?
I hope this doesn't mean something that we're not aware of.
Right? Yeah.
Knowing our luck, they're going to be like, oh, and they're showing the national symbol of pedophiles or something.
Yeah. It's the Proud Boy salute.
At one point,
even a thing.
At one point in the fight, he's hitting him, he's fighting him, and his wife goes and he holds the attacker's legs together. And he's like, don't you fucking kick my wife. And the home invader goes, okay. Right? And he just accepted those terms. And he's like, and he didn't. He honored his word, for all that guy's flaws. He didn't kick my wife, but he continued to upper body fight with our hero the whole time. He's punching and wrestling and trying to squirm free, but his feet were not in the fight anymore. He just agreed.
Well, that's an honorable way to.
He's a gentleman.
Go to jail.
They had beers. They train together now.
And the guy made a good.
He's in prison.
No, yeah, I'm sure he's in prison.
He made a good decision though too. Like, I feel like the way that Anthony Smith described his wife, I think his mother-in-law lived with them and helped out with the family and stuff, and he had kids there. My takeaway was that Anthony Smith was willing to get into a fight, but if you had touched his wife, kids, or his mother-in-law, who he feels very highly about, that he would have gone berserker mode and he would have really punished the guy.
Or he might have just stabbed the guy.
Could have. Yeah. No, the guy made a smart call not to kick his wife.
Yeah, I'd hate to get fucking stabbed. I would take a beating every day of the week over a stabbing.
Have you? I'm sure you have. We've all seen a guy, like, knife fight victims.
Yeah.
Dude, everybody loses a knife fight. Even if you win a knife fight, you have lost it. They gut you, or maybe you block it with your forearm a couple of times. Whew. Yeah.
It ain't like in the movies. Your fucking flesh lays over.
Terrible.
You've got a scar.
So bad.
If you survive. You could easily bleed out. That's the other thing. Like in the movies, it's like, Mel Gibson's fine. In real life, like you get a nick and you just fucking bleed out right there.
You lose if you win a fight and have anything more than like some bruising, it feels like you lost 2, right? You know, bruising we could all deal with. We all know that kind of comes back just like it was before. But if you got big knife wounds and stuff like that, everybody lost.
You know, it never made sense to me. Often in movies and games, even just in media, golf clubs are depicted as good melee weapons, and they're just not.
Hell no.
Like that thing, as soon as if you block that thing, it just breaks on your arm and bends over, and now they've got a little stick of aluminum. Like the head breaks right off. You can't.
You might have the head. You might have the better weapon.
Now you're in trouble. I'm gonna poke you with a sharp end.
I'm pretty sure, like if you hit someone in the head with an iron, like
if you make contact with the head,
fuck their shit up. Yeah, but it's like a one-use weapon. It's like
a blunt axe if you use it like that.
And I've only seen one instance on the internet, 2, of a baseball bat being used effectively as a weapon. One is when those street hooligans are like fucking with the guy's car as he drives past, and he's like, all right. And he like hops out of the car, grabs the bat, goes back there, and like deals 3 good ass whoopings in a row, and then gets back in the car and speeds off. And then, of course, the other one is when those 2 white trash white chicks. Oh, the King is great.
Yeah.
There's this one where these 2 white trash white chicks are fighting in a bat, and I don't know, at night in an alley or something. And every time she hits this chick with the aluminum bat, it goes ping, and she is fucking her up, hitting her in the head with it, and like bones and elbows with it, and the lady keeps coming. Ping. It's so good.
That's like a good audio feedback, like getting a headshot on Rust. It's like, yeah, I really like that. I'm gonna keep hitting this bitch.
Damn. I mean, so you think that's the only times you've seen? I feel like a baseball bat's a pretty natural weapon.
I think that movies and TV kind of make us think that, but anytime I see someone actually use one, they're so timid about using it. If you're gonna like have a fight with a club with an unarmed opponent, don't think this is going to be about you like, hey, stay away, I have a bat. If they want you, they're going to keep coming. You're going to have to club them. Like nobody seems willing to actually do the clubbing. They think that he'd never attack me. I have a bat. And the guy's like,
the problem
soon
is
I'll
like,
have that bat.
with the bat, like up close, like once they're in your personal space within arm's length, it's quite hard to swing. I think I'd rather go like a claw hammer, like because even if someone's on top of you,
if they wrap you up,
can still hit them. You can still hit them with a claw hammer. Like that's my go. Like I would go that. Like home defense without firearms in Australia, because if you shoot someone that comes into your house, they'll fucking freak out and charge you for murder. I'll go a claw hammer all day. Like I'm gonna claw hammer next to my bed. Like that motherfucker comes in.
He's St. Louis vibe to him. This guy.
Got a claw hammer under your bed. You should come here. This is like the Olympic, ground zero for hammer fights.
I was looking at the other
side.
You can throw a hammer too. Like if you threw a hammer and hit someone in the face, that would fuck this shit up.
That's too risky, man. You're potentially giving your opponent a hammer.
No, I have a bag of hammers in this situation. So like I can just keep throwing.
I've got like a tactical vest with hammers like strapped all over it.
Yeah, a quiver of hammers.
Just a bandolier of hammers.
One of those little rock chipping hammers like Andy Dufresne had. Like all
that's for like beating up kids. Like if a kid comes, I hit him with the rock chipping hammer.
Andy fucked him up with that rock hammer. That would be a very easy thing to. Actually, no, the rock hammer is a tiny little thing. The claw hammer, you kill someone once.
What's your melee weapon of choice? You're about to have to fight 2 adult men. What's your
2? You guys only had to fight 1.
You get a melee weapon.
Oh.
No traditional like swords or spears. Okay, this is something that you're gonna have to like get in the day-to-day modern world.
I want something bladed so that they can't try and like grab
day-to-day modern world implements. I don't even know where I'd find.
How about this? I do have something. It's one of those like long. It's almost like a halberd, but you use it to like saw down tree limbs.
Oh shit! It's got the
and you like pull that rope and you can saw it down.
Dangerous? I know that that's too long.
You're gonna scratch one guy up and then they're gonna kill you.
And it's only sharp on one side.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay. Wait. Redo.
I got a thing, Kyle. So you said day-to-day weapon, right?
Yeah.
I have a knife in my pocket almost all the time. I have a knife in my pocket right now.
Yeah.
I think I could choose a knife under these rules.
I think knife is.
You can choose a knife.
I don't think I'd go knife because I would carry a weapon that I'm willing to do the time for. Knife is very easy to accidentally kill someone. A hammer, it's like I can just go for.
That's what makes knives so good.
Yeah, but I'm fine.
You can
like,
accidentally kill one of these guys.
But I don't mind doing time for GBH, like grievous bodily harm. I don't give
You
a shit
have been
about that.
kidnapped
But I don't want
by
to go
the
down for murder.
Yakuza, slush puppy. They're leaning on your internet fame for this broadcast, and they're making you fight 2 men to the death.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I'll take a knife all
about
day.
legal consequences. You're
I'm going straight for the fucking jugular then.
Yeah,
I'll take a knife.
No,
what's something that you could swing quickly that's got some range?
Knife is the key. Knife is short.
What about that like short staff? That was it Donatello? Did he have the staff?
Oh yeah,
a quarter staff. I mean, if I'm using that, I may as well just like use a shovel. Like a
shovel is a terrible weapon.
Better than a quarter staff, I feel like.
No way. I can't.
I'm not trained in either, so I'd like the shovel.
Yeah, but I can swing the fuck out of a quarter staff, but a shovel's so unwieldy when it hits. It's gonna twist my wrist if I don't hit flat on. And I can take a shovel blast. I don't know. It's just flat sheet metal.
Okay, well, what is a longer ranged weapon that you could find in most people's garage that you think would be better than a shovel?
I mean,
a nail gun.
I think an axe handle is probably your best bet. I remember there's a scene in there's this Clint Eastwood movie called it's not High Plains Drifter. Doesn't matter, but he beats the shit out of like 5 guys with an axe handle, and then he has this line where he looks at it and says, "Nothing like a good piece of hickory," and it's really cool.
That is pretty cool.
Look at those the barbed wire.
Pale Rider
seems really strong.
We had
my
brother had a katana when we lived in the city, and we had a guy break into our house once, and he came burning out of his room with the katana. And I've never seen a guy shit himself so fast. Like, this motherfucker ran. He was so fucking afraid of dying. It was fucking awesome. He's just goes out like,
baby.
If I have to, let's just say that we're about to do battle, and this lot is sitting on the table. You get first pick, but he's going second. What do you choose?
Fuck. And it's still 2-on-1?
It's 1-on-1 because he's.
I think I'll take the machete. Millions of African tribes have proven the effectiveness of it.
But if you're going machete, katana seems like a better machete. Like, how is the katana outdone by the machete?
Yeah, it's a little bit unwieldy. Like if they grab me and get me on the ground, and I'm like holding the katana,
studying the blade.
Yeah,
I haven't been studying the blade.
I live the way of the blade. And
if the other guy has a melee weapon, I kind of like the shovel because I have a ranged melee weapon.
But here's
those
the thing.
giant wrenches are too heavy.
You do one of these, right? You're doing the big swing. I will purposefully step in and take that to the side of the head if it means I get to step in and stab you.
I don't hold real quick. You lose. Like you take a shovel to the side of the head,
and he's been skewered.
No, you're unconscious, imagining a victory, but you're being decapitated by the top of a shovel because Woody goes, I can't believe this fucker picked a claw hammer.
I would just go with katana. I think I have to go.
Oh, you're going katana too.
Now, at first, when I looked,
katana's a good weapon.
Somehow, I overlooked the katana. Now, the downside of the katana is
it's not a household item.
None of us know how to use a fucking katana, and if you swing a katana wrong, it just breaks. So like maybe
I think even if you hit someone with the blunt end of it and it turned in your hand, it would still fuck them up. Like if it's sharp, like
I don't.
Yeah.
I think, but the thing is, he has one of these other weapons, and it's really easy, I think, to use something like that thing on the far right, that bashing implement. Like if you're strong, like big, wide, sweeping swings, or maybe just pokes, like jabs with it, would be so scary.
Yeah, you have to like be like katana, a boss in a video game where you just go.
This is my move set. I'm about to do my next move now.
I don't know. I like the Gurkha knife too. That could be interesting. But
what's
the claw
the
hammer,
knife?
That's the one below the battle axe. That's kind of has an angular blade to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But that again seems
nobody's
like
going wrench though, right? Large or small.
No one's going wrench.
Heavy.
Those are really fucking heavy.
Yeah.
The large wrench struck me as a dangerous range weapon. I just don't know why it would be better than the barbed wire baseball bat.
Yeah, the barbed wire baseball bat would be scary.
I like the barbed wire in that I feel like you're less inclined to grab the head of it and take it from me.
Yeah. Or that's why you put a sock on it. If they grab it, then they
a sock on it.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm dealing with an experienced baseball bat fighter.
Or
socks do you bring?
I'd say, the other day in Brisbane over here, some dude got talking about melee fights with weapons. Some guy got in a fight with another guy at a mall and copped the knife like directly in the jugular. And there's someone was filming this on their phone. There's like a high res video of it's like a group of like 3 dudes versus 2 dudes or something. And this dude like steps forward and he jabs out with the knife and he cops him just like straight in the throat. And it's the most brutal fucking shit I've ever seen. Like literally instantly just spraying blood out of his fucking throat. And it takes him about 5 seconds and he just collapses. He just like
he's dead.
Falls to the floor. Yeah, I mean, you probably don't want to watch the video on here because it's pretty fucked up. But
I don't want to watch it at all. That stuff bums me out.
It surprised me how quickly someone dies once they're stabbed in the jugular. I did not expect someone to fall over within like it was max 10 seconds and he was done.
What a horrible 10 seconds.
Yeah, you can say it sprays out of him like instantly, and then he clutched his throat, and then he just looks really confused, and then he takes his hand off, and then it just sprays out again, and then he just goes down. Like it's insane.